Is Agnes ruining Minecraft? She's the newest lead game director for Minecraft, so she makes a lot of the decisions. And this video is going to discuss, is she ruining it? Is she not? I mean, I really like Agnes, but I'm interested to see what this video is going to say. It's by Casa. Let's give it a watch.
In this video, we're going to talk about Agnes, Minecraft's newest lead game director.
So let's see, 1.11 to 1.16. Was she the lead game director?
She joined Mojang on the 3rd of August 2016. Her very first project was a llama. Agnes made it after Jeb asked players to choose between an alpaca and a llama. To be
Like
honest, she didn't get it very well. The first pancake is always spoiled. What are the things to look out for? The mob has great details, and Agnes is very good at making detail for all sorts of mobs. But the llama in particular was quickly replaced in the same version when the shulker boxes were added.
That's true.
After the llama,
that's true.
Agnes
so the llama
made a
kind of
in 1.13,
became pointless.
And everyone already agrees that this mob is much better and more useful than
she
the
made the
last
turtle
one.
as well.
And that's cool. The turtle itself is a very interesting mob.
The turtle is way more functional, but Minecraft in general wasn't making functional mods back then very good. And then they kind of focused on only adding mobs that were cooler and giving more stuff.
There are also ruins, which add to the atmosphere and interest of the oceans and icebergs. Not the most beautiful biome, but better, in my opinion, and I cannot think of one. Well, and two interesting mechanics from her that are still used to this day is the mechanic of climbing on bubbles with the help of soul sand.
Oh, that's cool. So she added that.
Fast traveling on boats,
she did a lot
which was originally a bug, but she later decided to leave it. I was unable to find any information on 1.14 and 1.15, but I know for a fact
so we don't know
that it was
what she did in those
dealt
updates.
with the Crimson and Warped Forest in 1.16.
Oh, okay, she made those
biomes.
biomes. That's cool. I didn't know she made the
best
Crimson and Warped Forest.
atmospheric biomes in Nether, thanks to the trees, particles, and soundtrack.
Management. Okay, so she went into more management in 1.15.
It would seem that after 1.16, Agnes became the main game director, replacing Jeb. But in fact, by the time of 1.15 and 1.16,
so Jeb isn't the main game
he was
director.
no longer doing major updates, only the combat update. Officially,
he was working the combat update, but then it's never seen the light of day still. What's Jeb doing all this time?
In April 2020. It's just that she wasn't the one who chose the theme for the update. If 1.15 is just a great update that fixed optimization, then 1.16 is still considered by people to be the best update ever.
It is an insane update. It was another update. It was a great update for sure.
Version wasn't made under Jeb's leadership.
So 1.17, 1.18.
The quality of this update is pretty high. We have completely overhauled the world generation, added a bunch of decorative blocks, and basically started
1.17, 1.18 in my opinion were amazing updates. If you had 1.17, 1.18 and 1.19 all in one update, which was the initial plan, it would have been incredible. It would have bbeen just as big as 1.16 really. Unfortunately they had to split it across a few years, which is just a shame because like they just didn't have the manpower to get it all done in time. But the things they did so much, and I think they expanded each thing within that then, which made each thing bigger than it was initially planned. Like the Warden was just meant to be in the deep, like at the bottom of the world, but then it got its entire ancient city and stuff like that. So they definitely added a lot of cool new things because they split it up. It kind of made each individual thing a bit bigger. But if they'd have done all that in one update, people would have gone crazy for it if they could have made the updates that big.
World. It sounds cool in words, but there were a lot of problems during development. Firstly, the original plan was to update the generation of just the mountains. But when Agnes realized there was so much more potential, she decided to remake the whole thing. I think it was the right decision, but it required a lot more effort.
I agree. Yeah, it was more than initially planned. But I think do it right though. Like I definitely think it's right. We wanted a cave update so much and we got an epic cave update.
The code for this generation was written almost from the birth of the planet, which is a very long time ago. So they had to rewrite it almost completely. And
that is actually, I didn't even think about that. They had to rewrite all the code from scratch for the world generation.
Awesome. But they had to sacrifice a lot of additional mechanics and, most importantly, reputation.
I don't know if it did that reputation-wise, but it took a lot of time. But I think it was worth the wait,
which was only useful for the builders. Agnes had to restore the balance, along with the survival elements, and add something for the players. In the caves and cliffs, they promised to add Warden, and it was added in 1.19, along with the cool dungeon. This boss that the structure is very awesome and walk there is a pleasure. Also added Mangrove Swamp, which looks very
nice little
atmospheric,
exploration
especially with shaders.
Mangrove Swamp,
and frogs were
like I
designed
said
by
earlier,
Agnes,
very,
by the
very
way.
cool.
A seemingly good update, coming out in only 4 months. So what could go wrong?
Yeah, back on track.
They weren't added for the well-known reason that they're harmful to frogs, but they could have been added for atmosphere at least. Unfortunately, the miracle didn't happen. They've been postponed indefinitely. But Microsoft knows how to show up on time.
No way. Look, fireflies not being added doesn't really affect the game that much. Sure, okay, they didn't want to add them because they're poisonous to frogs. Fine. I mean, I don't think they had to not add them. I think they could have added them fine. And I don't know, just have a frog get the poison effect if it eats a firefly or something. I don't know. Like, it wouldn't have been hard to add them and still make it work. But I don't think that ruined the update not being there, personally. But we'll see.
After removing fireflies from 1.19 and separating caves and cliffs, why not start making reporting systems?
What?
Now that
Agnes had nothing to do with this. She couldn't influence it in...
That is where it went wrong. Adding the reporting system gave Minecraft a lot of bad rep. The whole... Yeah, all of it on servers and stuff kind of ruined a lot of the reputation of Minecraft. But nothing to do with Agnes. That's all Microsoft's doing, okay?
Anyway, it's just a requirement. In fact, the system just exists. But people are so upset. It's like they've been locked in a cage for days, almost foreshadowing the end of Minecraft. And as a result of unfair Java bans, well, at most 1 or 2 for all time.
I don't think there was a lot of, unfair Java bans.
After the separation of caves and cliffs, the 1.19 porting issues, and the reporter system, it came to a point where Agnes changed her development tactics. It was no longer what it used to be. Now, from that moment on, what we see at Minecon is something that is 100% developed, and the content that we get in the snapshots is going to surprise us. This is an unexpected decision.
They don't do Minecon and then
a very bold
features then they can't deliver
because it is clear that the players are not satisfied with what they have shown, or rather, that they have shown very little, and that it is now up to the developers to do in the snapshots what no one could have predicted, and at the same time, what the players will love, because Minecon would not have been held even if...
Yeah, I do think I preferred it when they showed more stuff that they hadn't even fully developed, but they showed more stuff in like the Minecraft Live. But then they kind of will go back and get them all in. The only issue is when they show a lot of stuff and then can't deliver it. But surely you'd think over building experience they'd know what to do. I think just transparency is a big thing. I don't know. I don't get why. Obviously, I'm not a developer. I don't know why they can't pump out more features and updates when you see modders do it so fast. I guess there is reasons. I know it's got to be, not got any bugs. It has to be planned a lot more. It has to be able to go on so many different platforms. I know stuff like that, but I don't see why they can't get more updates out and get more done in an update. Like I say, I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. I don't work there. So I understand that is not the case. And if they could, they would. But I don't fully know why, if you know what I mean. At the same time, like, can they just hire more people and get more out? I guess maybe that's not financially viable. I don't know. But, yeah. Anyway, let's continue watching.
Microsoft did not need it. After all, it is necessary to talk about the games that are being developed in parallel in order to interest
I never actually played Minecraft
Legends quality content. Agnes managed to get out of the situation and explain more clearly on the show what and how the game will be.
Agnes can't cope. Is that a question?
Let's be honest. Now compared to Jeb and Notch, most people don't like Agnes. One of the reasons is that she is.
Women.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that's a reason why, though.
When she became lead designer, a lot of people argued about feminism in Minecraft. And the other, more popular one is that Minecraft is going through some bad times right now. But the funny thing is that Minecraft has always, under all developers, gone through bad times. When Notch was around, it was in the post-release period, where players would get a year's worth of content. But it wasn't as big and important, and it wasn't fully unlocked, like basically almost all of the additions in the early stages of Minecraft, and it wasn't very cool. In Jeb's time, it was 1.8.
I guess the updates, weren't too crazy under Notch. They weren't massive. Jeb, I think a lot of cool things happened in Jeb, but he also did the combat update in 1.9 people hated. 1.10 and 1.11, 1.12, what was kind of going on there? Not many amazing things. Like 1.13, insane. That's when they got their head back on, 1.13, 1.14, amazing. Nobody cares about the bees update, but it was just a half-year update, so that's fine. Nether update. If they could do the Nether update level of additions every year, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I understand there's a lot of features in the trial chambers, but they spend a lot of time kind of adding those features, and it's all based in like one little thing, whereas the entire Nether got revamped, which is crazy. If they do an end update and revamp the entire end, it's gonna do really well. I'll tell you now, I 100% know
which
that.
had been in development for a year and a half. And again, there wasn't as much content added as
the
there
adventure
could have
update,
been.
yeah. Like, they added a bunch of updates.
It's the same situation
Biomes, it was
with
really
Agnes
cool, but it
now.
wasn't
We're
crazy to the
getting
level we
quite a
sometimes
lot of
get now.
content, but less than what was announced. That's why there's so much hate. We've had 3 updates where we've got content that we knew about 6
People
months
always
or
seem
a
to
year
hate about
before the
everything, don't
update. Now, like all Agnes development in the past, it is at the stage where it solves the main problem that players are unhappy about. Right now, we can see that the developments are going to keep us happy with new content. At the same time, all the information will be out of the field for half a year, and that is very cool. Well, if you would like more content like this, please subscribe
I suppose
and like this.
that's interesting. I don't think Agnes is ruining Minecraft. I think she's doing a good job. I think maybe their goal is to, or what they could do is just try and get ahead more, which I know isn't easy. But if they can, because they constantly have to, like now they're fixing bugs and stuff. But if they can get ahead, let's say the next update is the end update. If they can get most of the update done before Minecraft Live, and then show so much at Minecraft Live, and then release the snapshots, but be ahead on that. Like, you know, we're posting snapshot stuff, but we actually made most of it ages ago. Now we're just tweaking it based on feedback. And then they could be working on the update after that already. I don't know if that is actually feasible or not. Maybe they're kind of doing something like that, but yeah, if they could get ahead more. Or maybe Minecraft Live is too far, it's too early compared to when the update releases. Maybe they should actually be like, okay, well, we'll do Minecraft Live in December instead of September. We've got an extra 3 months then to work on content. And then when we release it in June, you know, instead of 9 months before we announced all of the stuff at Minecraft Live, it's just 6 months before now. And maybe that would help. Or they could even do it like February or something. You know, maybe that's an idea, to not announce everything so much earlier so they can show more to make people more excited. I don't know, just a few ideas. I'm no marketing expert. Mojang probably like, well, we need to do it 9 months before. That's what works best and for marketing and everything. Microsoft will say that, not Mojang. Who knows? Anyway, that's my opinions on that. Interesting video though, because I didn't realize Agnes did coding, did that developing side, and I didn't actually. I kind of knew she was a lead developer, but I didn't know that she was kind of just taken over from Jeb for the most part. So that was interesting to know as well.